Welcome again, Capricorn. It's March 2020 and here I am with your horoscope for the month. Albeit briefly, I think it's an important month. By the way, I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au for those of you that are new. Welcome. Look at this sun sign of yours, jam-packed with your ruling planet Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Mars, and the South Node or the karma point, past karma point. The reading, I think, this month is a lot to do with your identity and really getting a better grip on who you are, not just what it is you're doing. And we see a couple of things here with Mercury retrograde. I'm just going to jump around a little bit, but I'll try to cohesively bring it together for you. Retrograde Mercury here in the third house of communications with idealistic Sun Neptune making an impact on you right now, and especially in the aspect to the North Node here in the seventh house of relationships. So you're trying to convey new ideas, new patterns of thought to those that you consider important in your life. But I think to do that, you've got to have a clear idea of your brand. Notice here your most favorable planet is Venus. That brings a beautiful aspect to your sun sign, and all of these transiting planets in your sun sign after the 4th of March. You want to do something completely different. We see that by virtue of the fact that Uranus moves into a very close conjunction with Uranus. And on top of that, this is the third point. If you have a look up here, as the moon is getting stronger and stronger in its phase, this lunation, the full moon, taking place on the 9th/10th, is here in your 9th house against this idealistic Sun Neptune in the 3rd house. Now, you know the 9th house has a great deal to say about your belief systems, your ideals. It's a karmic part of the horoscope, but it also signifies your spiritual aspirations, your travels, not just your physical travels, but your mental and spiritual journeys. And I think this identity issue, it could be a crisis of sorts. You'll be pleased to know, by the way, I'm going to interject on myself there to say that this is going to relax a little as the month proceeds, especially after the middle of the month. And you can see the first point in favour of that is Mercury moving back into its direct motion. You notice that the contractual locality of Mercury shifted back into the finance income part of your horoscope. So there may be some revisionary episodes in that first part of March relating to your income and, you know, how you're negotiating your finances, what you're doing with that. There it is on the 16th, moving into the 3rd house again. So as you well know, when Mercury's retrograde, it can produce some rather complicated, confusing issues. Decisions that are made are not normally made with all of the facts at hand. But now you know that after the 15th, 16th, you're in a better position to make those decisions that you might have had to postpone. You'll also see around the 21st of March the ingress of the Sun into the 4th house, bringing with it energy to stimulate. Here it is here on the 20th, a little bit earlier than usual. And some people aren't aware of that the zodiac signs do change from year to year. Sometimes they fall on a specific day, other times they don't. That's why there's some confusion around the cusps. But this year it falls on the 20th, the movement of the Sun into the sign of Aries, which is your domestic sphere. At the same time, look at this very significant transit of your ruling planet Saturn away from your sun sign. Now, for you at Aquarius, there's a bit of an exception because the Saturn is your ruler. Still, nevertheless, it's better for it to move out of this area, especially having been and will continue to be up until the first week or so of April in conjunction with Mars, which produces a lot of frustration. And this is directed to yourself. But the new moon on the 25th, which you can see happening here right now as we animate this, brings a whole new process into play. It may hinge a bit on your family and how you're dealing with them, because of course your identity is all about your historic roots. But I think this has a lot to do with how you simply feel about yourself, how you're perceiving yourself, what self-talk that's going on. So this is a pretty psychological month for you, Capricorn. You note here, Saturn having moved out of here. Mars also moves out of here on the very last day of the month, freeing up your sun sign here of Capricorn to relish the buoyant energies of Jupiter, bringing with it a fresh approach, a little more optimism than you've had in this last 2.5 years, because the transit of Saturn is a slower moving transit. Mercury becomes more idealistic too. Your communications will convey those, I guess you'd call it pie in the sky ideas, but luckily you've got that practicality about you. And this is brilliant because you've got flights of fancy going on when Mercury and Neptune combine. Just be a little bit careful that you keep your feet anchored on the ground. I've gone into April there. I should really stop and say to you that we've got more information on this. They're in astrology.com.au. There's the text-based forecast for the month that will act as an accessory to what I've said here. Daily readings and the forecast for the whole year, actually, if you'd like to go there. At zero charge, I might add, if you'd like to pop in there. Drop me a line. Don't forget to subscribe. And for those of you looking for more meaning, especially those of you that are trying to make sense of your identity, it's a tough one. What is identity? That can only be gauged really in detail from your birth time, your place of birth, and that's the genuine sort of astrology, rather than the, I'm not saying this is not genuine, but this is more for the masses because it's based upon everyone's sun sign in one position. So consider that. I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you next month again. Bye-bye now, Capricorn.